House and that I, Sifuna, am a Catholic, and Catholics take policy positions from the Pope, and the Pope speaks to these issues through letters to his bishops called encyclicals. Mr. Speaker, the Pope has already issued an encyclical on the question of GMO foods. And if you allow me, Mr. Speaker, I would like to read an excerpt from this particular encyclical.
Senator Cherege, what is out of order?
Mr. Speaker, according to Standing Order 101 on contents of speech, when you look at when you extrapolate Standing Order 101-2, this matter of GMO, you had given directions on this matter. And in fact, I remember, was it Senator from Vihiga, who you may have directed to produce evidence on that issue of GMO. And I think that matter had been dealt with. So I don't know why Senator Sifuna is introducing an issue of argument when he knows very well that what he's trying to do is casting aspersions on the government lifting of GMO. Because, Mr. Speaker, I know this is like anticipating debate. Because this is something that the government is yet to issue guidelines on lifting of the GMO ban, Mr. Speaker. So I would request my brother Senator, through you, Senator Sifuna, to desist from introducing something that is not even part of the speech of the President, Mr. Speaker. Why is he shooting in the dark when he cannot know where he's aiming at? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Sifuna, you have less than 1.5 minutes.
Mr. Speaker, with due respect, you can see this is the reason why I was asking for your protection. I am not introducing any matter. I am addressing myself to the President's proposals on food security. And I am allowed by the standing orders to read brief references from an authority like the Pope. I think the other speakers, the other senators who spoke have not availed themselves of authorities from their faith. So, Mr. Speaker, I would like to read this.
Have you finished?
I want to read this.
Reading the Pope's message.
Yes?
Are you done, or you know your time is really...
Please, most of the time, Mr. Speaker, add me 2 minutes so that I just read this passage from this encyclical
1 minute,
and sit
please,
down.
1 minute.
Mr. Speaker, this is the encyclical, and all these documents are available on the Vatican website. If you are unable to access the website because you are a rural senator, I can get one from his Bishop Agnolo's office for you. Mr. Speaker, this is what the Pope says. Although no conclusive proof exists that GM cereals may be harmful to human beings, and in some regions their use has brought about economic growth which has helped to resolve problems, there remain a number of significant difficulties which should not be underestimated. In many places following the introduction of these crops, productive land is concentrated in the hands of a few owners due to the progressive disappearance of small producers who, as a consequence of the loss of the exploited lands, are obliged to withdraw from direct production. Mr. Speaker, he says the most vulnerable of these become temporary laborers, and many rural workers end up moving to poverty-stricken urban areas. The expansion of these crops has the effect of destroying the complex networks of ecosystems, diminishing the diversity of production, and affecting regional economies now and in the future. Mr. Speaker, he concludes on this particular topic by saying, certainly these issues require constant attention and a concern for their ethical implications. A broad, responsible scientific and social debate needs to take place, one capable of considering all the available information and of calling things by their name. It sometimes happens that complete information is not put on the table. A selection is made on the basis of particular interests, be they political, economical, or ideological. This makes it difficult to reach a balanced and prudent judgment on these different questions. Mr. Speaker, it is not my words. This is the Pope, the head of the Catholic Church, which I'm a member, saying that we need to have a debate in line with Article 10.
Your time is up, but I want to advise you that I'm happy that the motion on the placement of members of this House in the committees. Now the government will engage this House in the final steps on GMOs and any other policies. I wish you could go to Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries Committee, where you can be very efficient and advise the government on what should be done. But as a senator of this House, you can be a friend of that committee. You will be invited when they will sit so that you can actually try to persuade the government on the thinking of the Pope. Yes, so you know your time is up, that's what I'm saying, but you have another opportunity. That's an advice that I was giving Senator Okongo Mugeni. And next, you know, you said that we have several SGs. Let us get the opinion.